Good morning. Morning musings from the studio on this tiny little Greek island. And the thoughts are a bit big this morning, and they're on happiness, the pursuit of happiness, and what a useless endeavor that is. So I'll get on that in a second. If, of course, I can get my thoughts in order. Um, so it's 10:30, I think, or almost 10:30, and lots to do in the studio. And I've got a new water painting, a seascape that I'm beginning to put together and working on the Notan of it, which is the darks and the lights and how that all plays together. Now, the Notan idea is it's just using black and white. So you're doing a little thumbnail sketch in a context of doing oil paintings. So, I mean, Notans can be used in different ways, but it's just using black and white, and you're getting the abstract idea of how the darks and the lights will work together. And that's kind of what I'm doing here. It's not black and white, it's burnt sienna and a lighter burnt sienna. It's a dark and a light. And when you get a Notan that works, your painting will be interesting. However, if you're doing representational work, as I am, uh, you need to add something else. It cannot be a Notan. It needs to have another value. And what does that other value do? It creates form. So it gives us immediately from the abstract something that is tangible, something that we can look at and understand, because we are, in fact, three-dimensional beings. If you think of the mind, body, spirit kind of thing, mind, body, creativity kind of thing. So this is where my thoughts are this morning, because I was working on this Notan part of my painting process for this new seascape last night, and I woke up with this idea of happiness is a waste of time. And what does that have to do with starting a new painting? And if I can pull it together for you in a positive way, in a way that's going to make any sense to anybody, because I don't know if it makes sense to me yet, but these were my thoughts. Happiness is fleeting. Okay. So basically, you know how you get really pissed off at something and it just fills you, and then eventually it goes away, right? It just dissipates and kind of, you move on to another thing. Well, happiness is the same thing. So it comes and you have these moments of, and then it's gone. So I'm thinking about that uh, because of another kind of thing, um, that happiness, because it is so fleeting, is really kind of the wrong thing to be going after, to be chasing after. You'll never get it. It will always change, because happiness lives in the future, the idea of a happy moment, or you're remembering in the past of those moments when you felt happy. But happiness doesn't really hang out in the present moment, if you know what I mean. So these are where my thoughts are. Uh, Presence is the space where, when you are, in fact, present in the moment, there's kind of this humming, this flow, this joy. So let's look at it with the Notan. You've got happiness on the light side of your Notan and unhappiness or anger or sadness or whatever that are the darks. And it's very abstract and has no real form. It's abstract. So when you add, um, let's say, a third element, such as being present in the now, in this moment, then that is, it's the stronger side. It's what holds both of this duality of happiness and unhappiness together, like the side of a coin. If you haven't got the side of a coin, you haven't got a coin, right? I mean, these are really, um, tiny island studio philosophies. But, that it's how my mind works. I can't help it. And the reason why I think I woke up with these ideas that, it's better to pursue being the side of the coin that's holding the duality of happiness and unhappiness. I don't know, joy and anger. I mean, all the opposites, duality. If if you kind of focus your life on being in the present moment, you're basically the side of the coin. Does that make sense to anybody? Or am I just like totally flipping out in my little tiny studio here? Quite possibly. But here's the thing. I was talking with a very, very dear friend of mine, and she's having some difficulty from long COVID. Um, and it's it's been very, very difficult. So she says last night that she is focusing on the glass half full part of her life rather than, all the things that aren't working in her life. And so I mean, it's kind of understandable that I woke up with this idea. So looking at life with the glass half full, right? And I've said that many times, like I can be here on this little tiny island and I haven't got, my group of friends around me except through, this space. And I can complain about it. I can say, "Ugh, I can't even go to a movie. There's no, yeah, it's like a full event to go to a movie. Get off the island, take a couple-hour drive to the city, do that, and then you're gonna have to spend the night in the city, which isn't a bad idea. And then, come back here the next day and blah, blah. I mean, to go to a movie, right? So, I can focus on the negative sides of it. I can focus on all of that, but if I'm looking at the side of the coin, right, then I don't know. Like, I come into my studio, I look outside, I think, "It's beautiful today." I look at the things that I'm working on, and I feel satisfied. I don't feel happy, I feel satisfied, and the more I'm in the studio, I come into this flow and I engage my creativity, which is maybe like the size of the coin. It's the part that is connecting the more abstract part of my thinking with the physical act of painting and, doing my stuff that I need to do in this physical world. And it's that balancing point. It's kind of nice. So those are my thoughts this morning from this tiny little studio. Yeah, I'm gonna get on with working on this painting and filming it, and I'll, upload like a time lapse of it to my YouTube channel and maybe talk about how happiness is fleeting and to not even really bother with it. When it happens, yeah, dive into it, enjoy it, love it. But you know what? When sadness comes along, I don't mean like dive into it, but good morning, Corby. You have a great day too. But experience it, connect with it, let it happen and let it come through you. When you're on the sides of the coin, when you're in a state of presence or aware of moving into a state of presence, then even the more sad parts or unhappy parts or difficult parts or frustrating parts or the anger and all of that, you can just experience it somewhat detached from the turmoil of it. And, yeah, so those are my thoughts. Thinking about my friend, she's really something special to me, always has been. So thinking about her and learning from her, the things that she's going through. So may we all spend the day with the glass half full. So nice to be here. I will see you again tomorrow on this little tiny Greek island from this little tiny studio. Got lots to do today and excited to be here. Yeah, I guess that would mean I'm pretty happy. Yeah. See y'all later. Bye.